primarily siliceous aggregate here, which is known to be hydrophobic. Looks like we may have a little bit of bleeding in there, but is judged as something to affect skid resistance. I don't know if it does because it's not in the wheel pads. Within the wheel pads, the additional asphalt apparently has been worn away over time. We're into some low severity longitudinal cracking in here and then giving way to nothing but raveling. And now we're up at the end of test section 01A310. Panorama here, we've got an old junkyard dump over there. And looking back up towards the remainder of this test section and the GPS section back behind us. Again, to repeat, we are in the westbound lanes of Alabama 152, which is the northern bypass of Montgomery. Okay, we're coming up to a hole where I've asked them to auger. We'll stop up here and have a look at material that came out of the hole and focus in on the core as well. Materials which were augered out of a hole downstream from test section 01A310. And what we see here is the base material as being the first material coming out of the hole, which is right around the center of the screen right now. Panning on up as we're moving on down the hole, we move out of the soil aggregate material on into a different class of it, which is the more reddish colored material that you see. And then what's roughly about the third foot down underneath the pavement surface is where we start getting into this darker colored material. Again, it's the putty knife in this. Again, we've got it's probably best characterized as a clay sand. Coarse grain, AASHTO A24 probably would be the classification it would fit. It's got some gravel mixed into it just as before, but predominantly sand with some fines and some gravel. Still, it's quite damp as well. That's something we were just discussing. They've had a little over twice the normal precipitation for the month of January, which is a low evaporation month also. So it's not surprising that subsurface layer should be damp, except in this case when we're up on such a high embankment here. Kevin's holding the ruler for me this time, and you can see the thickness that we have here. Again, with the wearing layer, it's probably most accurately described as 1 inch. It's just slightly less than that. And then we get into the binder and the base layers here. The total thickness on this core is about 10 1/8 inch. That is combined of the wearing, binder, and base layers. Again, you can see the distinctions between each course of material here. It's quite readily apparent as you look along here.